Hey, Volmite. It won't get off my screen. Hi, Skittish Kitty. Hello. We are just waiting for a few more people to join, and she's just waiting in the lobby, as you can see. Yes, my Discord tabs are a little all over the place, but you all understand. You all get it. Spoop. Spoopy. Good day, good day. Just waiting a little bit for the beautiful people. Do 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 do. I literally just woke up. Well, shit. Just waiting on a few more people. Do 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 do. So I started painting a Leviathan Dreadnought for Fry as a representation of him on the table, and the arms are magnetized. So I took a picture of it with its arms on, and then I sent it to him. And then he's like, "Oh, that looks sick." And then I took a picture of him like this with his arms off because I haven't done the guns yet. And he's like, "You ripped my arms off." And I'm like, to be fair, what did I actually say? Hold on. You say mutilated. I say I gave options. Okay, yeah, let's just drag her on in here. Oh, no, that's dragging the lobby. Oh. Hello? Gotta crank her up. Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Yay, technical difficulties. So just gonna crank her way the hell up. Connection seems to be lost. Okay. That's odd. Bathroom, maybe? No, they're here. Oh, you can't hear me at all. Okay. Hello? Well, I'm lighting up at least. Just gonna drag this over here for a moment. Yes.
Hi.
Hello! Sorry, I don't have a camera. My camera is occupied with my stream. I do not also recommend looking at the stream unless you want to get vertigo.
No, no problem. I'm, yeah, I've got some technical issues, I think.
We can hear you now, though, which is good.
Oh, that's nice. Sorry for kind of looking like a mess. It's
You look
pretty
perfectly fine.
okay. Thank you.
But welcome to my interview stream. Why don't you tell the lovely audience who you are?
Um, I'm a nerd who does stuff on the internet sometimes. Like I have some cosplays that I sometimes show off on TikTok. Sometimes I say weird stuff about Warhammer lore, and yeah, sometimes I make weird stuff at home.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you were brought to my attention because both some members of my Discord brought you up, and then as well seeing some of your lovely cosplays in on TikTok, especially like the Kaifas Kane.
Yeah, uh,
I do want
it's my member of the Imperium cosplay.
to. I am wondering how long did it take for you to make that cosplay?
Um, Technically not very long. Like I made the chainsaw out of foam. I actually have it here.
Hard to hear them. Are you able to speak up a little bit louder, or is it like quiet time over there?
It's like nighttime, but I can speak a bit louder.
All right.
I can. Yeah, the chainsaw took a while because I kept taking breaks in between, but if you just count work, maybe a week.
All right.
And um, yeah, the rest of the cosplay was basically hanging in my closet somewhere. So
Well, it's really
yeah,
just a commissar's outfit, right?
yeah, it's really just a comic book outfit. And I actually do have a basically full cosplay with the hat and stuff, but the hat doesn't really fit, and I didn't feel comfortable wearing it like because of imagery. But
Yeah.
like yeah,
You said you're from Germany, right?
yeah, I'm from Germany.
Yeah, I can understand the hesitation with the wearing of that kind of imagery.
Yeah, like also the first time I kind of got a video with more than 10K views. I showed off my bolt pistol, and like uh I think it got on the wrong side of TikTok, so
Ooh.
the like basically turned into a free block list. So yeah, it was kind of uncomfortable.
The bad side of TikTok for 40K at
Yeah.
least. The ones who are just like, okay, so this is something I actually do want to ask you because I have not met many women in the 40K community, not for a lack of trying. We do have some women players down here where I live, but we're such a small community is that if someone's being an asshole, we usually deal with them very, very fast. And but as a woman inside our community, what has your experience been like, both positive and negative?
Well, my local game store is pretty good. Like we have a lot of women there, and people are really nice. Um, I mean, in the broader community, you sometimes have people being condescending and stuff. Sometimes a bit like creepy in a like obnoxious way where they like try to hit on you in creepy ways. But generally my experience has been pretty positive. I have been spared most of the nasty comments, mostly because I'm a very small creator. Like I don't know, I've seen other women deal with a bit more backlash also against their content online. But like in my day-to-day experience and my real life cycles, there hasn't been a lot of backlash or gatekeeping, but I know I've been pretty lucky in that regard.
Yeah, because I've seen.
Observation. This is a great opportunity
Shit,
for
okay.
slaughter.
Hi, Steve Boots.
Hi.
I've been raided. Good to know. Sorry, it's just I have raids open and then like I get like a full blast in the ear.
Ah, okay.
Hi, Canadian Bacon. Thank you for joining the interview. But anyway, yeah. So I I've seen like different stories from different women inside the Warhammer community when they've talked about uh, both in-game and out-of-game harassment, and just in general when you go online, because the internet's a bloody shithole. And by the
Yeah.
way, don't worry about swearing on here. You are more than fine to swear on here. Uh,
Ah,
I've made
nice.
this a adult stream, i.e.,
only the big people can like come in here.
so you are more than fine to swear.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I've seen just constant things where women will try to comment on a thing and then they're just told to shut the fuck up and then all the standard bullshit. And it really does make the Warhammer hobby look worse.
Observation. This is a great opportunity for slaughter.
It drives me personally up the wall because our community, the majority of our community, isn't like that. And I'm glad that people like you and others still have a place in our community, that you still feel welcome, you still feel like you can come play games and talk about the lore and cosplay even in spite of all the creeps and just the guys who wonder why they don't have a girlfriend and yet they keep acting the way they do. But yeah,
Yeah,
you may.
there isn't really an alternative if you're into this stuff, right?
Yeah. But I do want to know actually, how did you get into Warhammer?
Um, I talked to someone at a Star Trek convention and they brought up Warhammer and it sounded interesting, so I read the Cypher's Kane book. And then I wanted to start an Inquisition army, which is a pretty bad idea. But I already had the idea before I read the rules. So I painted a few models, read the rules, got bored, and continued reading the lore instead of playing. And like when the pandemic began, I kind of got back into it by yeah with by like buying a Tau team. Yeah.
Getting into 40K through Star Trek. My god. Talk about a dichotomy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm mostly a Trekkie, honestly, but it's yeah.
I was a Star Wars kid growing up. It's people are like, what did you grow up with? I grew up with the prequels.
That's fine.
But it's so interesting that there's such that crossover between uh our sci-fi interests. Like, if you like Warhammer, it is most definitely a certainty that you are either into like Star Trek or Star Wars, or both at the same time. And I do have to ask, like, what was it like jumping over from the absolute um uh, how do I put this? The goodness of Star Trek, where like the main characters are morally upstanding most of the time. There's not a lot of no, clearly Captain Picard is an asshole. But like jumping to something like Warhammer 40k, especially with Cyphus Kane.
Um, I mean, Cyphus Kane is a pretty mild way to start, I think. Like, it's pretty easy to relate to the characters, I think. And I mean, of course you have to read it as propaganda because it is. Like, Cyphus Kane is technically a horrible person, but he's also pretty cool. And I think it just being Blackadder in space is kind of a great way to get into it because it's so not serious. Like, I think if I started with a book that had a more serious tone, I wouldn't have liked it that much.
Yeah.
Like, when I went on to read the Eisenhorn books, I mean, they aren't really serious. They are also funny and full of inside jokes, but
They're
I've
absolute batshit.
yeah, they're fun, they're hilarious, and Eisenhorn just has the audacity. Like, imagine showing up at your ex-girlfriend's doorstep, like literally dragging her out of her house of 25 years. Like, dude. Um, but I found those books harder to get into, honestly, because I didn't like the way Beckwin was written in the first book. Like, in the first two books, she kind of, I don't know, I just prefer the sci-fi Cambridge when it comes to representation.
Yeah, so when I recommended Warhammer books to my friends, I made the mistake of recommending the Horus Heresy to them, and that book is very fucking heavy from the very start.
Yeah,
And then I read the Caiaphas Cain books along with the Eisenhorn and Ravenloft trilogies, and those books would have been so much easier to jump into because you're just in the nitty gritty of everyday Imperial life, whether it be
yeah,
from the military to civilian life. And I guess that's kind of a thing, is that, like, if we want people to get into Warhammer, the most interesting books to go for are not the books with the big power armored asshole on it, but the book with the person that you can relate to. Like with Caiaphas Cain, and how, believe it or not, Caiaphas Cain is probably one of the most realistic humans in 40k. He's in it for himself.
yeah.
His best interest is making it from point A to B without getting shot, and then I'm just being lucky enough to survive and maybe get a medal.
Mm. I
You,
also think, yeah, I also think that role-playing games like Dark Heresy are a pretty good way to get into Warhammer lore.
oh yeah, it's
Although although I tried playing Dark Heresy with my friends and it didn't really go well because I had like three people who knew Warhammer and uh, like three people who had absolutely no idea, no interest in Warhammer, and just found the setting and stuff horrendous,
yeah,
but they didn't know that they would hate it. So yeah, I
yes.
was punished.
So something about the Fantasy Flight module books for like all the different RPGs, they intentionally make it so that way when you are starting out a campaign like in Dark Heresy, you are not in the Imperium. You are somewhere else. I.e., like you're like on a jungle
Um,
world dealing with that, or like a soft little arid world where like it's small villages and such when you're dealing with that. Get you modicumly adjusted to it,
mm,
and then you slowly bring them into the absolute shithole that is the Imperium. But
my idea with the campaign I planned out for my friends was that they all lived on the same agri world and weren't actually a part of the Inquisition yet. So they had to figure out like haunted house situation and accidentally discover like cult activity. And then they would have been like picked up by an Inquisitor for finding out all that stuff.
instead of being blamed, you get
Instead of
forcefully
being blamed.
conscripted.
I mean, it it seemed fitting, and the normal citizen wouldn't have the slightest idea about imperial morals or like not imperial but like chaos and stuff. But the actual clash was with imperial morals because I had one player who just straight up asked, "Yeah, can I play an atheist?" And I was like, "No, you can't." Yeah.
Well, okay, so that's something about 40k atheism. Um, you can play one. You should be encouraged to play what you want. It's just that it's usually something you should keep close to the chest, kind of a thing. Because the only people who can get away with atheism in the Imperium are Space Marines, and that's the whole sum total of: are you going to tell that 10-foot tall, strapped in a tank's worth of armor that he can't say the Emperor is not a god? No, no, you're not. But they did recently in the lore bring in like an atheist, and she is, oh my god, is she a treat? She is absolutely one of the best characters in recent memory.
Yeah, it was like with character I have to admit I'm not really caught up on the news lore. Yeah.
And people take their time. People don't always go deep diving. I'm the kind of person who swan dives into a series lore as best I can. And plus, I just read the Roboot Gulliman duology of Dark Imperium and Plague War, where that
Oh
character
no.
does show up. And they're good books. What can I say? They're good books.
Might might pick it up.
Yeah, it's the books are based. Those two books are basically about how the Primarch Roboot Gulliman is dealing with the modern day Imperium, because as the book it starts off after he gets injured, and then he's put in stasis for about like 10k years, and then he wakes up. It's basically a story of like, oh, I was asleep for like 100 years, and then what the fuck happened? And just him reacting to everything around him, and it's just when you have the guy bitch at his brother, who's a demon now, saying that I'm basically the only one doing the school project, but all of you fucked off and did your own shit. It's one of the best burn moments in the entire 40k franchise right now for me. But
Yeah, I can imagine.
yeah. uh, so may I ask what you like about Warhammer and like Star Trek as well?
With Star Trek it's just very comforting and yeah, I kinda like the idea that everything's going to be okay. Um, and I do like the writing. My favorite show is Deep Space Nine probably, and I just love the character. And I like the look and the alien look. Like the first cosplay I ever did was original series Romulan Commander, and I actually knitted the whole thing because I couldn't find the fabric.
Could you speak up? You were a little bit muffled there.
My first cosplay was a Romulan commander from the original Star Trek series, and I knitted the whole thing because I couldn't find the magic fabric.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, my favorite show is Deep Space Nine, and I just find it very comforting and like rewatching it, and I think it's pretty creative. Yeah, that's what I like about Star Trek. What I like about Warhammer 40K is that it's just very out there. And I kinda like the different designs and different factions, and um like putting together models and design stuff. When it comes to the lore, I don't know, it's kind of a power fantasy sometimes, and like I think it's funny. Yeah.
It is. It is really weird when So I was introduced to Warhammer through the computer game Dawn of War, and I thought it was like this epic, just everybody's kind of tossing heads. It's just a massive slugfest kind of a thing. All that kind of stuff. Not knowing about the deeper lore, all that kind of stuff. Believing in the Emperor. It's just you are given what you are given in that game and just thrown into it. And then, like, when you go down to your local game store, you get, like, two different kinds of 40k people, from what I understand, is that, like, you get the people who are like, haha, orc think thing, and it go brrr, to, there is no hope in this future. There is only death. Only vindication through war. Just, there is no middle ground with 40k people. It is just, haha, brr, or grimdark. And I kind of love that, is that you could have the people who screech at the top of their lung, wah, while the other people are over there in the corner like, nerds. I kind of fall into the screaming for wah kind of category.
Yeah. I never wanted to play orc, but um I kinda got an orc built in there, but I still need to build and paint it because time. But I want to cover the whole thing in glitter. Might fall into the second category as well, like the wall.
Hmm. I do have to ask, what is your favorite faction in both Star Trek and Warhammer?
Oh, that's kinda hard. Like um with Star Trek, I always liked the Romulans because they were just, but like my favorite faction would probably be the Federation because it's like, I mean, it's the good guys. I kinda like good guys, like just having good guys in a fantasy setting or in a sci-fi setting. So, yeah. I think I like the Federation. I I still kind of like the Romulans. I really like um I really like Garak, but I don't like the Cardassians. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's hard. There are so many. I don't really like Vulcans. They're boring.
You don't like Vulcans? They're boring.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, I still have ears, but
Listen, I
that's
like the
just
pointy ears, but that's as far as I'll go.
I mean, Romulans also have pointy ears, so that's fine.
Yeah, but the Romulans aren't boring science nerds.
No, Romulans aren't boring. You know, the biggest problems I had with the new movies. I actually like the new shows, but the biggest problem I had with the new movies was that the red matter stuff, because Romulans actually like produce many black holes, like many singularities, and power their ship with them, so they wouldn't have a problem with keeping their sun from blowing up.
Yeah, I kind of fuck when I think back to like the Star Trek, like the reboots. I only remember the second one. The first one I remember like Picard, like not Picard, uh,
Sure.
Kirk. Thank you. My God, brain. I can't stop thinking about the handsomeness that is Sir Patrick Stewart. Um, all I remember from the first movie is that Kirk just does a thing. He wins a simulation he's not supposed to win. Um, he has a massive dick measuring contest with Spock, which no thank you. And then like the bad guy's a Romulan who went back in time.
Yeah.
It's just so wild, and I don't get it. And then like the second movie was just kind of straightforward. It's just hey, super soldier who's pissed off wants payback, and it's Khan.
Mhm. Yeah, the second movie is like name dropping. I mean, the third movie is pretty good.
I never got to watch it.
It's pretty good. It's fun.
Really?
Yeah, what I really like about the reboot is Scotty and like
Scotty's great.
I think they're awesome.
That is one of the few things I remember liking about the reboot was Scotty. Scotty's just great.
Yeah, I also think Zachary Quinto did a good job with a new interpretation of Spock.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he he is a Spock with a very different backstory, so him playing the character differently makes a lot of sense. But and I think the look is kind of okay. What I didn't like was the second movie, but that was just disaster.
I I'm weird. I like the second movie, and I don't like the first one that much. That's mostly because my brain is going like, haha, giant ship. And then like,
Yeah,
do you remember anything else? Uh, Ka.
but
Plus, like that really good fight scene on like the transporter where Spock and Khan are going at it. That stuff's good.
yeah, but yeah, I honestly like the new shows.
What do you like about them? I haven't watched them. I haven't seen any of the new shows. I've only seen like clips from Star Trek Below Decks, and I'm like, this this just feels like someone took Star Trek and wanted to make it grimdark.
Mm. I mean, with Discovery, it's just very different, and I mean, it's not my favorite, but um, I like what they did. I actually don't mind that they redesigned the Klingons. I like that they speak Klingon, which is and Yeah, I like that they did something different, and I kind of like that they introduced pike. And I like Strange New World because it's comforting and it's more pike. And I also like uh, yeah, that it's more like classic Trek, but I also like Discovery probably because I think it's pretty similar to Deep Space Nine. Um, and that it also made these like changes to the format and is more serialized. Um, yeah, Lower Decks is it's funny.
I
Yeah.
think that's what they just wanted to be. Is that like they wanted to be like the kind of just comedic look at the Star Trek universe and how fucked up it can be in a lot of instances, and that when we really go back and think about it, how many times has like the Enterprise or so on and so forth got blown up, shot down, and then it's just like the main bridge crew that walks away, and then you're just kind
Yeah.
of sitting there like that can't the Enterprise hold like close to like 5 to 6K people? Does that mean like 5 to 6K people minus the bridge are all dead? Which is a little fucked up if you think about it.
I mean, it's not that much. It's about 250.
250. I don't know the size of Star Trek ships. My God, I learned I learned how big a Star Destroyer is, but not the Enterprise or anything else in the fleet. Oh my God, I'm terrible.
I mean, in the original series, it's like 250. Like at least that was in the intro.
Oh, okay. Okay, now I gotta look this up. It's bugging me. How?
Like it's 200, 300 something. But like in the German intro, which isn't that reliable because it's like a TV show from the 60s synchronized. It was with the 250 people on board. So I kind of thought that it stayed basically the same size.
Sorry, I'm just. Oh my God, these crew complements are small.
So how many are there?
For an Intrepid class, I don't know how big that is. Well, it's a long-range explorer. 150. Which, I mean, makes sense. These are supposed to be, like, ships that are meant to travel the void and be efficient. They're efficient. Their job is to go explore. Whereas, like, something like in Star Wars, like, they just make Star Destroyers and, like, how many people can we fit in there? Oh, you know, about 5,000.
Yeah.
5,000? That's a lot of bodies. And then 40K says, hold my fucking beer.
And 40K, when you have a long warp journey, you kind of have to make sure that the people in the lower decks don't forget they're on a spaceship.
Hi, Dark. It's so wild just looking at all that. Hmm. I like spaceships. Spaceships are fun. They go pew and we go eh. But, so this is something that is on my mind, and I never got to ask any kind of German-speaking person or anyone from Germany. So my friend who is ethnically German, by the way, like his father's side of the family comes from Germany. He really likes the deathcore of Krieg, which is basically like World War I Germans. And the Krieg army has kind of had a bad problem, and it's not the army's fault. It's just how they're designed and how they're coded. And that the baddest parts of the Warhammer community have really taken to them. And as a person from Germany who has that history constantly over them, I want to know what your opinion is on that kind of thing. And I know that's a very heavy question.
I mean, it's a red flag army. Like, if someone is playing Creek or is cosplaying Creek, I'm very careful around this person. But like, I mean, it depends. It's like, it's just like a time that I would be cautious around this person. But yeah, I'm not saying everyone who likes the aesthetics or who likes the army is problematic. I'm not saying that. But as you said, a lot of people who are problematic like the army. So, yeah.
Yeah. My friend himself, he also is smart enough and knowledgeable enough about his own history that, like, he doesn't worship the ground they walk on. He's just like, no, I love their aesthetic. That's where it lies. It ends, and I just like the play style of marching bodies across a field, and then just kind of not caring who dies and makes it back.
Yeah.
And I have seen some people, both here in Canada where I live, and abroad, who did, like, either they don't get it and they refuse to get it, or they do get it and they just were like, yes, and this is what we all should be, in like a very serious, non-jokey tone. And I'm like, who hurt you? Who?
I mean, a problem with Warhammer is that the Imperium slowly morphed into like, I mean, the Imperium is always going to be red as the protagonist in the lore, and I think it has the problem, like the same problem as a lot of satire about Nazis, but it's not satirical enough to not be construed into being serious. So you kind of have like a small problematic part of the fandom taking the imagery and running with it, and just yeah, ruining it for the rest of us.
It really doesn't help that when you look at the imagery, like when you're playing the games and you look at the codexes, whenever you're looking at the Imperial Army, it's them standing defiant. It's them in like heroic poses. It's like the 5th edition Space Marine Codex, I remember this very distinctly, is that it's an Ultramarine blowing away a Black Legionnaire, or the Imperial Guard Codex from 5th edition, where it's men just unloading from their dropship into combat like an epic thing from Starship Troopers. And that's what that was meant to invoke, was Starship Troopers imagery. But
Yeah.
there's also the problem of some people lack media literacy and can't read between the lines. In fact, my most recent video where I was talking about problematic shit, I know you saw it. Someone just commented today that we need to stop caring about the buzzwords. And I'm like, no, we really fucking shouldn't. Because, like, this is problematic stuff. This is meant to make you think. Like, why is it bad? And, like, when I was a kid, I didn't get it. Like, I saw awesome Space Marines, like, fighting, like, monsters and such, and, like, it doesn't help that in the computer game, like, in one cutscene of the game, you see a Ultramarines chaplain fight a Bloodthirster, kick the crap out of it and then just walk away like it's nothing. Which, 10 out of 10, really cool moment, but it makes the guy look like a superhero, and that's not what we should be doing.
Yeah. Especially because, like, the Imperium is objectively bad, and like it's said they don't care about human life, but the people who follow those ideologies in real life also don't care about human life. They don't give a shit,
It's
and
means to
they
win.
see it as a strength. So to them, the bad representation is the good representation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I appreciate what GW has done recently, and
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard about what happened in Spain.
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay, yeah. And then GW coming out and saying, no, we don't want those kinds of people here. If you are repping armies with that kind of imagery or wearing that kind of imagery or saying that kind of shit, you need to leave. We don't want you. And the whole bad section of the Warhammer community just went up in arms, and the rest of us were laughing. And I remember watching this one YouTuber who talked about it, and it's like the 40K controversies, and he was talking about like the actual guy who did the thing that pissed GW off, and he just basically said like GW was well within their right to say what they said, but the people who are getting mad are the equivalent of calling the Allies woke kings because they made Hitler paint his last piece with his own brain matter, which was funny. The guy's name is Many Kudos, by the way, if you're wondering which video. It is jarring, to say the least, when I see people who don't get it, who don't get the joke, but at the same time, I didn't get the joke either when I was younger, and when it was a really hard thing for me to accept when I was told verbatim, no, the Imperium is a theocratic fascist state, and you need to understand that. And my brain was like, how is it theocratic and fascist? And then, oh look, the entirety of your book collection. As exampled.
I mean, they are, but they are also very cool, aren't they?
Listen, you tell me that I get to drive a giant World War I-esque tank through a wall? Yes! Oh my god, please give it to me, big golden daddy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Arch. So I have to ask, do you know who Arch Warhammer is?
I've heard of him. I've never watched the video.
So, I'm not going to hide this. I used to be part of the problematic side of nerdom. And it wasn't... I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was at a very complicated time in my life. And it was very easy for people to manipulate me into thinking that, oh no, these people, they're attacking you. When really, it's just someone trying to have a conversation. And I do not hide that part of my past. It's out there for everyone to see about how bad it was, but now you can see how I have adjusted my worldview. And Arch Warhammer was part of that problem for me. And what helped me get out of it was that his descent into madness was very palpable. For one of his videos was about snotlings, and as a comparison, it was just him saying, like, he just said the N-word a lot. He just kept saying the N-word over and over and over when he was referring to the snotlings, and that's not what snotlings are. Snotlings are food or a plaything. They're not slaves. They're just there. then it was the final straw for me was Space Marines can't be black. And I literally sat there watching the video like, what the fuck are you on? Because, like, of course Space Marines can be black. You mean to tell me in the 500 worlds of Ultramar, there's not one black dude or Asian dude running around? Are you fucking kidding me? It was entirely bonkers. And that helped me get out of that. But Arch and many other people like him, like the Quartering and so many others, it is very, very easy for someone to get sucked in because they do lore videos. So then you're thinking, oh, they're just a lore guy, but they don't watch the other stuff. And it doesn't help that the only person talking about the Horus Heresy on YouTube right now is Arch. And I think GW hit him with copyright claims, but I don't know. Either way, sorry, I ranted.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it is pretty unfortunate.
Does the Star Trek community have those bad apples in it too?
Yeah, there are conservative Star Trek fans and like reactionary Star Trek fans. I don't know how you can be so illiterate when it comes to media that you can be a reactionary Star Trek fan, but they exist. They are annoying, but I hope they are a minority. They can be pretty vocal.
Most of them are in the minority on that. A lot of people think that Star Wars and Star Trek and 40K, like those conservative communities, are massive. No, they're relatively small. It's just that they congregate into groups and they screech the loudest, where the rest of us are just kind of basking in the meadow enjoying our hobby. And then when our hobby gets in shit, they're the ones causing shit. And then everyone else is like, no, that's not what our hobby is. Please stop.
To be honest, I don't really engage that much with a community when it comes to actually discussing Star Trek or discussing Star Wars, because I got kind of burned by the sequel discussion.
You got burned by the sequel?
Yeah, like the whole discussions about the Star Wars sequels, it was so toxic.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
I try to avoid that kind of discourse. And
that is perfectly valid.
Same with all the screeching when Discovery came out.
Yeah, because wasn't a lot of people screeching that the main character was a black woman?
Yeah.
I heard about that, and then my brain was just like, what's the issue here?
I think the issue is that the reboot wasn't political enough, because the reboot was pretty apolitical, and before that, the last Star Trek we had was Deep Space Nine. No, it was Enterprise, which was 2001 ish, and so we had a lot of people introduced to Star Trek via the reboot, which was basically apolitical, and then we had like regular Star Trek politics again in the series, So yeah.
Yeah, I can see how that would throw a lot of people off. Is that like if they've never been exposed to the politics of Star Trek? Because even when I was a young kid, my dad got me into a lot of the sci-fi stuff that I'm into. He watched the original Star Trek Enterprise, all that kind of stuff. And I remember sitting there watching the episode where Picard is dealing with what was it? They were dealing with like a Klingon thing, and they were talking politics, and that like the Klingons were being treated unfairly in this situation. I remember that very vaguely, but I do remember that Star Trek was always that political show that my dad watched, and
Yeah. But like also the things that were political in like the 60s and or like controversial in like the 60s or the 80s aren't controversial anymore.
Observation. This is a great opportunity for slaughter.
So maybe we like in the 60s it was maybe we shouldn't have segregation, and if you watch it now it's like, yeah, obviously we shouldn't have segregation. You know what I mean?
but it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
It's
But like it shouldn't be controversial anymore, unlike or like when you have a storyline in an episode that deals with like gay coded aliens. It's kind of run of the mill today, so it's easier to overlook politics in older shows. Yeah.
I get that. And about like the Star Wars arguments there with the sequel trilogy. Oh my fucking god.
I mean, it's basically the same stuff they said about the prequel.
Yep. Just a lot more toxic. And a lot
Yeah,
more.
but like I hope that once this generation who grew up with sequel becomes adult, they're going to be quiet about it. Like
Yeah.
they're the people who hate on the sequels are going to shut up.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's not like they're not masterpieces, but Star Wars was always dumb, and
Oh,
it was always
it always was. And the one thing that people are shocked about when they talk to me is that I like Episode 7. I like what they did. I liked Rey. I liked our boy Finn. I liked everything they did in Episode 7. And then Episode 8, anything to do with Finn's group, I didn't enjoy because it was just boring. Anything to do with Rey and her story, oh my god, that was so good. I was enthralled. I was enamored. And then Episode 9, oh, she was a Palpatine. Yay! It's bad. But it's not bad because of Rey. It's bad because the writing is bad. And
yeah, or like she was a Mary Sue, now she doesn't. Like she got more training than Luke did at the like during her trilogy.
yeah, that's
Like she was if she was a guy, people wouldn't have called her Mary Sue. They would have just accepted it. Like
no
they
one would have
did
batted
when
an
they
eye. It's so weird actually for me now because I didn't know what a Mary Sue was when it was brought up originally, and then I watched overly sarcastic productions talk about what a Mary Sue was, and I'm like, oh, that's what it is. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, no, Rey's not a Mary Sue. She actively gets told off. Like, she is actively treated like she's garbage. She does not reach the level of Mary Sue. You know who does? Luke Skywalker. He is the definition of it. And then there's Captain America. Captain America is always right. He can't be wrong.
I mean, he's also like Captain America, and there are a few storylines where he is very wrong.
Hmm. And I find it so weird that in our modern interpretations of things is that why is a Mary Sue a bad thing inherently? There's always a character that we root for, and it's funny when when an actual Mary Sue character is written to get knocked down a peg, but a Mary Sue can literally be anyone. It's not just a person. It's not just one person.
I mean, a character with no flaws is kind of boring,
It is.
and you can like make a. I mean, you can make like have it make sense and like write a character as a power fantasy, and then it's fine. But like, I think if you really want to see growth and see a journey, then a Mary Sue just is boring and not
Yeah.
not the kind of stuff you're looking for. But I mean, lots of comic book characters with like technically count as Mary Sue's, at least in the earlier installments.
I mean, Superman bullied Jimmy Olsen, so
Yeah.
he can't be perfect. No one knows that, but Superman bullied Jimmy Olsen back in like the fucking 50s. It was weird. And then we all
Yeah,
forgot about it.
Superman can't be vaccinated because the needle wouldn't puncture his skin, and I think he would be pissed off about
Oh my
because
god, how does he get
it would.
past that? Oh my, I'm actually curious now about like how he gets around like the vaccine stuff. Like if you had to get like vaccinated, like it was mandatory you had to be vaccinated to enter your place. And then he's just like, "Oh fuck. Did you get your vaccination?" "Yes, sir, I totally did." Unless he just like goes to
But
Star Labs and they have like a kryptonite pinned needle, and they're just like, "Don't worry, it's gonna hurt."
I mean, he would be mad about it because he's such a goody two shoes. He wouldn't like want to have to like lie to people.
Didn't Superman do stuff
But
to
like,
Lois Lane? Oh, sorry, I'm just read my comment out loud.
sorry, was wondering. I'm curious. Sorry.
Robot says, didn't Superman also do stuff to Lois Lane? Yes, yes, he did. But you also have to understand that, like, at the time that that was written, wife beating was okay, I guess. And now,
Superman was also like the inventor of Superman also drew King comics
oh yeah.
with Superman characters.
In fact, Wonder Woman was originally just a BDSM character.
Yeah, of course. Like they were like whole comics just about some I think he also drew a comic called Playboy.
Yeah. It is
Yeah.
it is bizarre to find out superhero origins. I did not know half the stuff. And then like, oh, so that's where Wonder
Mhm.
Woman came from, huh?
Yeah.
And then like you learn about Iron Man was made on a dare, and it's just even funnier. And Batman was entirely plagiarized. Yep. Yes, he
Yeah,
was.
Batman is Zorro.
Yep. Um. Hmm.
That Zorro is more fun.
And Sorrow's more fun.
Yeah, like I don't know. I grew up with The Mask of Zorro with Antonio Banderas. So yeah,
I never grew up with Zorro.
like I grew up with the movie,
I
and that was like the whole extent of my exposure to Zoro, but yeah, it was enough. It's fun.
I grew up with, like I said, I grew up with Star Wars, grew up with like Shrek, grew up with like all the like classic Disney movies. My mom was like, "No, we're watching Robin Hood tonight," and I'm like, "Why?" And then grew up with the Michael Bay Transformers movies. That was an acid trip, if I ever saw one. God, I grew up with so much, and it hurts. I remember my dad just like dragging me to like all these different kinds of like sci-fi movies, and like kind of just wanting to like have that father-son bonding time with me when it came to like sci-fi and such. What the fuck? Blue kryptonite basically makes them human while exposed. Kryptonite's so weird, dude.
Kryptonite is weird.
The pink one, too. Don't worry, Bruce. I'm just giving you a massage.
Does it like turn everybody gay, or does it just?
It turns
make
Kryptonians
people-
gay. It's
Yeah, but does it like? But what happens if you're already gay?
I guess it
Yeah.
makes you straight.
What if you're bisexual?
I guess it turns you asexual.
Yeah, but technically, like, ace and bi is kind of.
Yeah, they're
can
mutually
want to
exclusive,
say-
I guess.
Yeah, I don't think so, because it can be like, it's a spectrum,
Yeah.
and you still have like basically equal attraction to both genders if you're completely asexual.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
No, I just said both genders, all genders. Sorry,
No, that's fine.
both sexes.
It's
Oh.
just like
Yeah, I didn't want to be turfy and stuff.
don't worry, I'm still learning proper gender theory and proper orientation stuff too, because my fiance, love them to death. They are non-binary, and they are absolutely sunshine of my life.
Yeah.
So, how about we move on to the Q&A section of the interview? Hey, chat, go ahead and ask any questions you want to our lovely Mars here. Marshmallow.
Yeah.
Which is the most adorable. And, of course, the first question, what do you think about owls?
Sorry?
What do you think about owls?
I like owls.
There you go, Fallmite. They like owls.
And I don't think I have a favorite one anymore. Kind of been a while.
If
Kind of fun.
From Tom Clicks, if you could remove any faction from 40K, who would it be and why?
Probably Space Marines.
Space Marines?
Yeah, I think they're boring.
Oh! Oh!
Also, like, can you imagine Space Marines just being?
I think the Imperium would be kind of screwed, but at the same time, think about how many different things wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, if I had to get rid of a faction, I would remove the. Who would I remove? My brain's like, no, because if you remove this, it removes, like, all this good stuff. And then it's like, no, what could I remove? And I think gene stealer cults would be the best thing in my mind to remove. Because they're not popular gameplay wise, and then lore wise, yes, they're a little bit insidious, but then again, so is any demon worshipping cult in the Warhammer universe. And they're just like, what's the difference? One gets demons, the other one gets angry incest bugs. That's the best way to put it. And listen, I just had to deal with an incest situation in D&D, so I was not ready for that. And you know what's even worse? It's an official module that has that, so that's... Just the one conversation. Oh, my brother, he's such a good husband after saving her kids. And all four of us at our party just looked at each other and went, you know, it probably would have been better for those kids to be left with the ice giant. Next question. Is there a cosplay you haven't had the chance to do, but have always wanted to do for a long time?
I mean, there probably is. There's a lot I want to do. I kind of want to make like foam armor and like big foam armor. I think like there's so much, but I think probably Bumblebee, like from Transformers.
Bumblebee from Transformers?
Yeah. Like it sounds interesting and it looks interesting.
I was hoping you'd say Picard.
No, I'm not ready to move over to Chaos and like get rid of my hair.
Are there any characters you like the lore of but wouldn't want to cosplay? Assuming you had the ability to make the cosplay or vice versa.
I mean there are a lot, like I would say commissars because I technically started doing commissar cosplay and then like kind of stopped halfway through because of yeah, like as I said, like kind of too close to Nazi imagery and like it's not like if I dial it up a little and like make it cartoony enough, it might work, but I'm not sure about it, so I haven't really tried to dial it up and just use the half finished one. I think also like Cosplay Leia is kinda I might do it at some point, but I don't know, it's a bit it makes me a bit uncomfortable. I don't know, there's a lot that like yeah, I don't know. Oh,
No, that's understandable.
yeah.
Have you ever watched Stargate? Or
I tried getting into it, but it didn't really interest me.
sorry, Fall Might. Yeah, you can continue. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say sorry to him.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
oh no, don't cry, buddy. Don't cry. It's okay. He's being he's being a jokester. Fall Might's our little jokester in our chat here. Any more questions, guys? Oh, don't bring up the Fall Guys emote. Come on.
Fall Guys is fun.
Fall Guys is interesting. I played it for a little bit, and then my fiance was like, "I played this, and I hate that like you get so used to these controls way faster than I do," and I'm like,
Little Bean Boy goes zoom.
I thought about streaming sometime, like in the past, but yeah, then I noticed that there is no market to watch someone die in low graphics and 7 frames per second. So
that's fair. It's
yeah.
I really had to buckle down and get proper stream equipment, which at least a decent microphone, and people are like, it's not that decent, and I'm like, it's good for $80. And then a standard 1080p webcam, even though I need to upgrade my webcam.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Would you rather fight 10 horse-sized ducks or 100 duck-sized horses?
Do I have a weapon or?
Yeah, you know what? Let's add Tong licks. Do they have a weapon or no? Or do they have a weapon or no? Or are they like disarmed? Do they get a weapon, Tong clicks? Crap.
Do I have a chain?
Does she get a chain sword? They can be armed, sure.
I think I would fight the horses because they're less aggressive than the ducks.
Wielding a chain sword, screams at the top of the hill, "Come and get me!" As like you hear tiny neighs. Oh, do you like Pokemon? And if you do, which Pokemon's your favorite?
I haven't really gotten into Pokemon as a kid or like later, but just through cultural osmosis, away I have to translate things. Um, no, I can't think of the English name.
Nah, that's fair.
But like I haven't really gotten that deep into Pokemon at the first place. So
The next question is, have you heard about the epic adventures of monkeys versus balloons? Also, what's your favorite fictional character?
monkeys versus blue.
So there's a game called Balloons, and essentially is that you use monkeys, and these monkeys have like different abilities, and they defend the end. It's a tower defense game basically, and essentially it's just monkeys destroying balloons.
Ah,
It's really cute, but at the same time you're just like, what? Why is there a god monkey? Not just any monkey, an Aztec god monkey. But what is your favorite character in fiction?
my favorite character in fiction. Ooh, that's a hard one. I can't say like probably that. Yeah, just
Who?
the adept. Probably just the adept.
I need you to say that one more time, a little bit louder.
Probably just the adept.
Who's that?
From Deep Space Nine. The
Oh.
one I also cosplay.
Why do you like them so much?
Um, because they're funny and they are um sorry. I could always relate to them a lot or relate to her a lot and yeah.
Tom Clicks agrees with you.
I
Jedzia Dax is the best.
sorry.
I never watched Deep Space Nine, so I don't get an opinion. As for my favorite fictional character of all time, that's a really tough one, honestly, for me.
Yeah, same.
Um, I guess if I was really splitting hairs, it's Gunnery Sergeant Buck from Halo. I For one, he's played by Nathan Fillion, who's one of my favorite actors of all time. And then it's just the guy is funny. When he just has such a dry sense of humor, and when you just play the game and play as like his fellow squad mates, I think like my best line from him is that like, "Thanks for picking such a tall building. I'm really digging all these stairs. Do you ever get tired of bitching, Romeo? Do you ever get tired of busting my balls?" Point taken. um, if everyone in the world had a genie worth one wish, what do you think you would wish for?
More genies.
The what?
More genies.
More genies. Ah, yes, the age-old answer. I wish for this and three more wishes. What? Outrageous. Go watch Deep Space Nine. Tell me where I can watch it legally, and maybe I will.
Netflix,
Canadian Netflix
I think.
sucks. I
Yeah, you
think
can
we
get it
might
on
only have the original trilogy on Canadian Netflix. Like the original
you
series.
you can get a VPN and I
Already
think
have
it's
one.
right.
And
I
Netflix
think
shut us out because of it.
oh
They put a VPN blocker in the app.
oh
The
yeah.
bastards.
I haven't noticed that.
It's on Netflix in Canada. Really? Really, it's on there? I'll have to take a look later. They can do that.
It's
Yeah, they can block VPNs.
oh,
A VPN is not. I don't know the legality of a VPN.
it's legal.
They're right, it's legal. But there's nothing stopping a company from putting in a anti-VPN.
Yeah.
Just means that I get to scream real loud when I don't get my fucking Owl House updates. I fell in love with the Owl House. I've been watching it with my fiance. No, we have Voyager and Deep Space Nine and the Next Gen in the original series. Oh, okay. Good to know.
Nice.
Good to know. That's something I can watch with my fiance. They like Star Trek. Any other questions? Boys, girls, non-binary pals? While we wait for the next question, I do have a question of my own.
Okay.
For cosplaying, what do you recommend to someone who's just getting into it?
I mean you can most certainly throw something together just with stuff you have on hand. And on the other hand, it's not like it's totally okay to just buy your costume. Um, or like just buy pieces for your costume. You don't have to make everything from scratch. Like it helps to like be aware of your limitations. Like if you or like of your skills and limitations. Like I can see something very intricate, but I did manage to sew the Suffolk uniform, for example. And like it also helps that if you're planning to do like bigger, more intricate costume, that you really enjoy the character or like really passionate about the character. And like um, if you have a tutorial online, you can probably do it. Like for my Twilight cosplay, I made latex lacquer, and they turned out pretty good.
Have you ever heard? Do you watch anime or read manga, if I may ask?
Not really. Like I have watched um a few, but apart from Studio Gimli, I didn't really watch them.
Currently, right now, there is one of the most popular manga slash anime that's out right now is a series called My Dress Up Darling, and essentially what it's about is that it's a I don't know what the term I don't remember the name for the dolls that this guy makes, but this guy Hina dolls, he makes Hina dolls, and he makes a new friend with a girl named Marin, and Marin, she loves cosplay, but she's absolutely she's a travesty trying to make it. And the whole entire series is a romance story, but at the same time it's also a subtle plug for the author, who is a cosplayer, to give cosplaying tips and how cosplaying works, how to properly treat your wigs, all that kind of stuff. And that's why I've taken a much more keen interest in cosplay, and that like I didn't know how complicated cosplay got originally, but with reading that series and watching the anime, um, I was shocked to learn that cosplay is like such can be an instance of like a death march in some instances, especially if you're trying to meet a deadline for like a
Yeah,
convention. And
yeah, but like it doesn't have to be.
it really doesn't. Um, even in the anime and the manga, there's an instance where both the girl and the guy don't communicate very well, and everything hits this guy at once. His grandpa gets sent to the hospital, so he has to like go live with like his cousins for a little bit because they're closer to the hospital. So he's all alone running the doll shop, and then he's got finals, and then there's the cosplay thing that's going on literally the weekend, and this poor bastard bores through for a week straight, no sleep, nothing, and then when he finally gets the cosplay done and calls his friend over, she's like, "Oh my god, why do you look so tired?" "I didn't sleep for a week because like we had to do it this weekend." Dude, they meet up like every weekend. Oh my god, I didn't tell you that, did I? Oh, thank God, as he just like falls to his knees. It's it's so good. It's really really good. Um the next question from Robot, sorry, I jumped immediately. What is your favorite ship in Star Trek?
Um, Probably Garrick and Bashir. Oh, you meant both.
Opinion on if transporters kill. Oh no.
Yes, transporters kill you when you get transported and rebuild you and at your destination.
Ah! That is so fucked I hate this question. Ah! I don't like it in Warhammer. I don't like it in Star Wars. I don't like it in Star Trek. I do not like the idea of my molecules being ripped apart one place and put back together the next. Don't worry, it's not. Don't worry, it's still you. But is it me? Is it me? The existential crisis. Ah!
I mean, it's all fun and games until you have to like save your essence in a holoswitch program because there was a transporter malfunction.
Yeah. I thought Warhammer, you were going through the warp. Okay, so teleporting in Warhammer is a little bit more complicated than that. You use the warp to move yourself from one location to the next, and then, because like you're kind of just putting yourself on a mirror plane, and then the mirror plane just kind of moves around you, and then you're hoping to God that when you get teleported into the right location, you're standing on ground and not inside a wall or something. Because, like, we've had that moment where, like, in the books where they do a teleport action, and then, like, everyone's like, yeah, I made it, I'm fine. And then you hear in the distance, ah! And then quiet, and then you turn around and see, oh, Jeffrey the Terminator is now part of the wall.
Yeah, you know, that's what I like about Cypher's Cane. When you have a transporter malfunction in Cypher's Cane, you just hit your head.
Listen, my favorite moment from the Caiaphas Cain books will always be in the book where like they're dealing with the Gene Stealer cult, and Amberly is going to like dodge out of the way of a gunshot, and then like it teleports her to a fucking dining set in the next room. Oh my god! And then if you read the audio, like if you're listening to the audiobook, she Amberly Vale in the audiobooks, it's more of a lore thing where like Amberly Vale is going through his recordings and everything and correcting or adding context to stuff. And she fucking comments on that and says,
Yeah.
in my opinion, it's a stupid place to put a China set anyways. And I'm like, wow, that was 10 years ago in canon and you're still salty.
Fine. You know what I think is weird about Inquisitors in the lore. Like they put their romantic exploit in their after action report. Like imagine reading all this stuff in universe and it's just like basically a real life fanfiction about your coworker. Like I don't know, I kind of noticed it when I read Eisenhorn.
To my
And it
lord,
was like
to my Lord Inquisitor from Scribe 6623 Aljaris, I do not know what is going on inside the Ordo Xenos, but holy fuck, these bitches be horny!
I mean he was like he actually wrote, we've been on this luxury train and we had a nice dinner and the last thing we did was get some coffee, but it's not really the last thing we did, if you know what I mean. Like
Cool. I love reading that my Inquisitor got some fucking action while I'm looking at this report on demons. Good to know, buddy. Rock on.
I mean the Eisenhorn books are harem anime, so it's fine.
You know what's the most fucked up thing?
That
Have you ever heard of it?
most-
Have you ever
that
heard?
he has the most chemistry with birds.
Have you ever heard of the series called Jock Draco?
Yes.
Oh my god, it is. I watched an entire breakdown on the book from the guys from If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device. That was the funniest thing I've ever watched. And just watching is like everybody, and these are just the actors just kind of giving their own takes, and it's wonderful. It's just like, boy, I have seen things, terrible things. Boy.
I mean, it's fine. Technically, she's not a gene stealer.
They talk about, do you want to fuck Gene Stealer? Clussy, dude. I am euphoric. This.
She's not a gene stealer. She just pretends to be a gene stealer.
I know, she shapeshifts.
To steal his gene.
Oh, God. Sorry we don't have many questions, boss. Nah, it's fine, guys. It's okay.
It's fine, just as long as I keep talking, you'll have a lot more questions. I stay about my sanity.
Yeah, it's deep diving into old 40K hurts physically, and just like seeing everything. Like, I didn't know for like the longest time that like I thought Warhammer lore was pretty consistent. No, when the Ultramarines chief librarian was a half Eldar, half human, that tends to throw you over the place. And then there's
I mean, they used to be female orcs. There used to be like female orcs in Blood Bowl, like female orc models, like cheerleader orcs.
You've
like...
never played Blood Bowl 2, have you? They have female cheerleader orcs, and they don't wear bras. They wear nipple tassels. It's
yeah,
glorious.
I like those.
Okay. Did you like old Necrons or new Necrons better?
I mean, I kinda got into it after the new Necrons, so.
All right. Hi, slight recoil. I see you there, my boy, my man. My boy who actually plays the Krieg army, who fully understands it and gets it. Everything. He's in the chat, and he's just like, iron within, iron without, iron within, iron without. You okay there? Do you need to talk? Are you having an aneurysm, my friend? Are you feeling the lonely? Dorn's a nerd. Oh my god. Polymorphia is probably used for kinky stuff as much as it is for infiltration. Guys.
I think it's just more for kinky stuff than for infiltration.
Everybody, you can't look me. No one can look me in the eye and deny anyone that no assassin has not enhanced any part of their body to make sex better. You cannot argue that against me.
I mean, isn't it canon that they do that? They could their boyfriend wants Gene Stealer.
Yes.
Gene Stealer.
Yes. It's fucked. Inquisitor Griffin. The real Iron
Also,
Circles.
like talking about the Inquisition, I just found something.
Oh, what's that?
It's like something I made because I was extra. It's like, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Actually, can I see your bolt pistol again? I'm actually curious about that.
It's a Nerf gun.
Yeah, I was like, is that a Nerf gun? And it is.
Yeah, it's a Nerf gun. It's not loaded though.
minorly disappointed. I wanted to be shot.
I'm sorry.
Aw.
Didn't want to shoot my phone.
After Deep Space Nine, it's revealed holodecks are basically just fuck stations.
I mean, yes, but you can also have 50s bar simulation.
Dude, I would kill to have a holodeck and just be like,
And like, sorry.
no, you look excited. You want to say something.
Yeah, because like on DS9, O'Brien and Bashir are such nerds that they use the holosuite to do LARPs and reenactment.
That's awesome. Oh my god, that's awesome.
And there's also like, I mean, a lot of people do that, but I mean, it's mostly porn. It's like the internet. There are a few nerds on porn.
My co-host is saying nice bolter, by the way.
Thank you.
He's a LARPer and he makes his own costumes and everything too. He made his own sword.
Has he also seen the chainsaw?
No, he has not seen the chainsword. Recoil! Chainsword! Look at this fucking creature! It's sick! And she wields it like a badass.
It's because I want to be cyber.
You can hang out with Isaac Newton and Plato, or you can bang. Guys, you are all missing the point of the holodeck. The greatest.
You can bang Isaac Newton.
You could bang Isaac Newton. You could get the proper dick size of Isaac Newton, and you can walk out of the holodeck and say with confidence, "I just got rimmed by my boy Newton. I learned gravity." Don't tempt me, I will crash the stream. No, don't crash the stream. Bang Isaac Newton in an Apple cosplay. Ah! No! The Apple suit stays on during sex. Oh my god. I will come straight through that door. You will not be able to make it in 16 minutes, I fucking swear. Bet, bitch. I'm just kind of waiting for him to crash through my house now. I'm kind of scared. New kink unlocked. Fuck you guys. Ah! Why does my chat get horny? Oh no, you did it.
It's pretty late.
That's fair. But yeah, that's another thing about, like, Star Trek that I find fascinating a little bit is the holodeck. Holodeck is a very interesting thing in that, like, who the fuck sets the hologram deck to have, like, lethal? Sir, if I just wanted to murder somebody, I just bring him into the holodeck and shoot him with a 50 cal. What's stopping me?
I mean, there's usually a safeguard, but you can disable it.
I mean, fair. And I guess, like, the one time I did see them be lethal was the Star Trek movie where, like, Picard just guns down the Borg with a Tommy gun, so... You could debate, wrestle, and fuck Plato. BDSM programs. I don't need that image in my head! Though I guess that does mean that I could finally have my, my absolute dream with Ryan Reynolds where, like, he romances me on the boats in Italy.
Yeah.
Or like I could wear Terminator armor because that's the dream.
Yeah.
Listen, anything in 40k, the one thing I just want to wear is Terminator armor. Everyone's like, "What? Why do you like such bulky ass armor?" If it does not look like it can take a shot from a modern day Abrams and walk away, it's bad armor. Bad sci-fi armor.
By the way, if you could decide the next decide what a new book series should be about, what would you pick
For what?
for 40k?
Oh, that's a good question. So right now, Modern 40k is focusing on Gulliman's rebuilding and restructuring of the Imperium. But something that I would want to see is actually something that the YouTuber arbitrator Ian brought up, and that is the Imperium Nihilus, which is the other half of the galaxy that is cut off. And that I would like to see different factions of humanity pop up. And that, like, they aren't just loyal to the Imperium anymore. Like, it's, no, we're loyal to ourselves, and we are going to fight chaos, because we know chaos is fucked up. They wear people, for God's sakes, as shirts. And fuck the Imperium, because what have they done for us? They've abandoned us, and all we had to do was pay taxes to them? Nah, blood. We do things our way. I would love to see a book series about that, where it is a new group of humanity basically cutting out their own swath in the galaxy without being corrupted by chaos, actively working with different alien groups like the Tau or like the Eldar, so on and so forth. Like, actually have a productive faction of humanity that isn't the Imperium. I would love a series on that, because then you could actually have Gulliman or another Imperial faction show up, and they can either be like the very untrusted ally, or they can be like a hostile entity, like, you get in line or die. And it's like, nah, we have the technology to fight back. Fuck you.
So, like, the Federation.
Yeah, like the Federation. Remember
Like
the 50... I swear to God, guys, if they retcon the entirety of the Horus Heresy, they just fucking delete it from the internet. Like, nope, none of it ever happened. Like, it got furious fucking abyssed into the abyss. I'm a scream for all the wasted years of my life. 'Cause...
Nope.
How dare you?
No, Horus Heresy never happened. They actually just got family therapy.
Oh shit, did you ever see that series I did on TikTok where it was the they'll never believe you kind of a thing?
Yeah.
You saw the ending to that?
I don't know.
For the Night Lord one, I actually brought Conrad Kurz back, and he was a therapist. And like, oh motherfucker!
You doubted. That was your first mistake. You talked shit and I delivered.
Don't hit me. Oh god, he actually has the sword.
This is a nice sword. It's a very nice sword.
She can't see it.
Oh, well, that's
She's not watching the stream, but after the
shit.
stream is done, I could turn off the camera and then bring it on here if you want to hang around.
Yeah.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, kitty. You booked it over here. My god.
You underestimate my power.
I do underestimate your power. Hello, baby. I got my cat.
I was literally like, okay, I guess I'm gonna leave and get some food, and then you're like, you can't get here in under 16 minutes, and it was just like you underestimate me.
But I guess that'll be the end of the stream today. Thank you, Rosa, for showing up and doing this interview.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you for.
Sorry for crashing your interview.
It's okay.
she says it's okay.
Nice, I appreciate that.
But yeah, we will be streaming again tomorrow. We will be streaming either more Dead Space or Mega Man X because I am bored and I don't know what to do with my life. But yeah, thank you all so much. Rosa, is there anything you'd like to say before we click off?
I don't know. Good night.
Tonk says thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
You all have a wonderful night, everybody.
Hey, yo, take care, man.